Hey, welcome to the Jennifer O'Brien Show. I'm your host, Jennifer O'Brien. Here I am. Hello, shalom. Welcome to the show. It is just me again this week. Surprise, party of one. And anyway, I just wanted to get a podcast, and I was too lazy to ask anybody to come on the show this week. And I just kind of let it happen. That's how it goes. I just don't have a big schedule for this show, podcast, whatever you want to call what I'm doing. And I just let it happen. And I've reached out to some random people over the years. And some people say yes, and some people say no. Like I did reach out to Sylvester Stallone. That was a leap. I was like, I'm just going to ask. Because there's a scripture you don't have because you don't ask. Well, I didn't get a response back, so I'm assuming it's no. It didn't crush me. I don't really get crushed if somebody says no to me. Like at least in this arena. Now I get crushed in other ways. Don't worry about that. But what's kind of funny though is there's a book that I read, and I don't even want to give the book away, but I reached out to the author of this book that really helped me as an artist. And it's all about pursuing your dreams and taking leaps of faith. And I'm like, hey, let's see if she'll come on my podcast and talk all about that. And got to talking with her. So I got an email back, and that went. And eventually I don't think I had a big enough following for her. So she wanted stats on me. And so I thought it was kind of funny that the person who encouraged me to pursue my dreams crushed them. And it's kind of funny. I don't want to give away the author or who she is. But anyway, I thought that's kind of funny. It really didn't crush me. I found it kind of funny, actually. So yeah, that's how I work this show. I just and every now and then I reach out to someone random and they say yes. And I'm like, let's have a conversation. So that's how it goes around here. And many people have not responded. Some do. And then you get to hear them come on the show. And that's how it works. I'm talking, or I see somebody, or they cross my path and I say, hey, you want to come on? And not everybody's comfortable being on podcast, and that's understandable. I'm learning that. So what I'm like, I could just stay on here all day, but who would want to watch that? It's boring. So anyway, I'm just coming on real quick just to say I did a podcast this week. But one thing that's kind of on my heart, a lot of stuff going on. This is my second week that I've pretty much been off of social media, kind of off, just not really reading everything. And that's more for my own kind of peace of heart and mind. There's scripture in the Bible that says, guard your heart, for it's the wellspring of life. And I have to steward my heart, and knowing in certain seasons, there's just times you just got to take a break from things. And I'm feeling like it's one of those. And it's interesting because the longer I'm off, the more I'm like, hey, you know what? I need to work on doing some more writing and getting some more, new jokes written. So it's been clearing that up, because I'm not out here like, who said what? They did what? And I'm like, that's really what social media is. Like you wake up in the morning, like, oh, it's a gorgeous morning. It's so nice. And then it's like, let me get on social so I can figure out what I need to be angry about. And that's really what it seems to me a lot of times. So it's like at the end, after a while, I mean, I'm kind of joking saying that, but maybe not in the social media. Like if I go on TikTok, I am literally just going to go on and look at cats and people that are funny, because that's what my that's what I get fed. So I'm talking about just more apps that are informative and letting you know what's going on in the world. And I figured, Adam and Eve were doing just fine in the garden before they ate that piece of fruit that gave them all this knowledge. And, so sometimes I think, if God needs me to know something, he'll give me the download. I don't need to know every horrific thing going on in the world. It's not that I won't keep my finger to the pulse, but at the end of the day, I do need to step away because I have a life to live. And I think some people get caught in watching other people live their lives, and, go work on the dreams God's put in you. Go work on the things that you're here to do while you're here, because we all have a purpose. So I entitled today's message of this podcast, Don't Give Up, because I've been at my dream since I was 22 years old as a single mom when I first started doing stand-up. And, I basically started here in Atlanta in just local coffee shops and clubs, and just learned to write, had a good time, thought it was fun, still being a single mom. And I had a few little fun kisses from God along the way to say, keep going. But, ultimately my goal was I wanted to get married and I wanted to have a family because I was raised by a single mom. So, I look back over the years where there was a lot of opportunities I quote unquote missed in comedy, or maybe I should have been a little going for it, or maybe I should have persevered or did this different or that. And I'm not saying that I couldn't have grown and done better, but at the end of the day, my goals were different. So one thing I want to encourage, maybe somebody needs to hear this. It's a good reminder for me. My goal is to be at peace with God and myself. And there's the cats just playing. If you're wondering why the green screen is moving behind me, it's the kitty cat, Charlie. But sometimes I have to realize my ultimate goal is to be at peace with God and myself, and also to be a part of to have raised my daughters. And could I have done a better job? Yes. I mean, every parent gets to that age when you have adult children, and then you got to go back and start apologizing for all the things you did wrong, because you're going to make mistakes. It's just, I don't care how cool and Christian you are, you're going to mess them up. Okay. So that's just how it goes. I do my best. I'm like, it could have been worse. Okay. I'm sorry. There's a lot of things I messed up in, but anyway, I say all that. I've looked over, I was going back through a box this week of stuff that was in our garage. No, it was in our attic. And we moved from our house because we lost our house back when the market crashed. I don't know if that was late 08, 09, 2010. I don't even know. Maybe later than that. Anyway, we lost the house, moved back into apartment. Long story longer. I had this blanket from childhood. I called him Blanky, and Blanky was with me through thick and thin. And it was like my security blanket. I was like Linus. I sucked my thumb. That was my blanket. I can't tell you how many times I peed on that blanket because, yes, I am a bedwetter from the 1970s. Thank you very much. My wet clothes in a Sunbeam bread bag when I would go to the daycare and wet myself at nap time. Anybody else out there? Make some noise if you know what that felt like, having to sit with the other 4 kids at the table while everybody else ate their snacks of peanut butter and celery with raisins. And we just sat there with our bread bags and felt a lot of shame. And hence the comedy life, I had to process the trauma somehow. So I'm going back. I thought Blanky got thrown away in the move. And I was like, no way. I was crushed. I've been looking for Blanky. This box has been probably 10 years now. No, longer. Because we were in the apartment 4 years. We've been here 7, but 11 years. I thought Blanky I had to kind of grieve that Blanky is no longer with us. And anyway, I opened a box. Guess who was in the box? That's right, Blanky was in the box. So got Blanky out, had a little reunion, sent pictures to my sister. She's like, oh my gosh, Jesus is coming back. It's like, I don't know. It knocked me out when I said Jesus is coming back. It just literally knocked me out of the podcast. So anyway, I don't know when it cut out, but it just cut me out for a second. So I'll try to edit that in post. But I found Blanky, sent a picture to my sister. She's like, I think Jesus is coming back. Long lost reunion. And I was seeing my oldest daughter that night. And she's like, bring Blanky. I thought, oh, she wants to have a moment. And she probably just was trying to be nice because it didn't seem like she was excited, took him out of the bag and just left him on the back seat of my car, exposed to the elements. Let's put him back in the safety bag so he doesn't get hurt. And now he's in my drawer. And anyway, just a little reunited. Oh, so besides Blanky, all these years, and I'm not going to start wetting the bed and sucking my thumb. Again, not that I'm planning on it. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what life brings. Although that sounds comforting, at least maybe not the wedding bed. Anyway, bedwetting thing, but that, in the box, it's just all this stuff over the years when I got to do, Nick at Night's Search for Funniest Mom in America, season 2. And I found all that stuff. And there was this element of I remember when that was happening, and it was so exciting to be chosen, and they flew me up to New York, and it was so cool, and to be honest with you, once I made it, I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then I had to pray for courage to even do it. And then I got there, and then I did my set at the Laugh Factory, and I got off, and they're like, how do you think you did? I'm like, I don't really know. Probably, I guess I did fine. I had no confidence back then, none at all. And anyway, I prayed opposite. I was like, dear God, do not let them choose me for this show. Because I love reality shows, but I realized I don't want that camera always on me. It just was too much. And they didn't choose me. And I was so relieved. But I even was looking back through all these things oh man, I should have went big for it. Or if I was just in a better headspace, I could have capitalized that opportunity. But then, the more I look at things, I'm like, I've done this at my pace. I've got to be a mom to my daughters. Yeah. Was I a perfect mom? No. But the things that were important to me, I did hold to those things. So sometimes I think I can get really kind of discouraged, still not exactly where I want to be. This didn't quite work out that way. I thought this was going to take off. That still didn't take off. I mean, you can go down rabbit holes, but, or I could just say, well, I learned, that's not for me, or maybe this isn't for me, or, I'm about to create some more merch. So just keep an eye out for their merch. It's all about the merch. And for my character Blanche. So I'm like, oh, I'll create some Blanche merch, and people seem to like her. Let's do something with it. And this is my third time getting my husband to help me, because he helps. He's the thing on the computer, graphic designer. And so he helps me with all my merchandising. And there's this tinge of oh, great, here we go again. I just get so just to be honest, sometimes it's just oh, okay, believe in something again, because you get all excited each time. When I first started learning about drop shipping, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on YouTube watching teenage boys teach me how to drop ship. And I'm like, here it is. I'm going to be I'm going to become a millionaire like Tanner in his father's basement. And then you're like, okay, I sold 2 sweatshirts and a mug. Don't think I'm going to become a millionaire off of that. But you learn it's marketing and what you put in, you get and then when I did the Real Housewives show, I was like, here we go. This is going to spread like wildfire. Real Housewives of the Quarantine. Everyone's going to want a t-shirt. At least the women are. And I sold a lot more of those t-shirts and tried to get people to send me pictures of them with the t-shirts on. I'm like, oh, I'll market this way. I keep hitting a lamp. And sorry if you hear a noise. And it kind of took off. And then that kind of fizzled. Everyone's like, pandemic's over. Stop producing the show. And I was like, no, I really like this show. And, but anyway, you learn what worked, what didn't work, how to sell, how not to sell. So I'm always feeling like I'm starting over. I'm learning it again because it's always changing. The business continues to change. And I continue to be like, well, do I really want to do that? Or am I trying to build it the way they are building it? So you kind of have to kind of know what your goals are and be okay that keep the main things the main thing. For me, it's God and family. And at the end of the day, if I got to go work at Kroger or something, or go wait tables again, I'll do it. It's not that big of a deal. I don't really care. During the quarantine, I went and did Uber Eats for a while. just because I had this character Joan in my comedy in the web series, and she did Uber Eats, and I don't know why I thought it would be so fun to do Uber Eats. So I did it, and I was like, oh, I'm making money. I'm out here bringing people food. And then I did Instacart for extra money. And then, which was fine. But then one of the last times I did it, they gave me 3 orders in one at a Kroger. And it was a mess. And the guy didn't, it was a whole thing where the guy should have closed out the order, but didn't. And then he rang up all the second batch. And then we had to undo the whole second batch. And if you ever go to Kroger around here, oh my gosh, there's only like one person working in checkout and you have to do self-checkout. So we have a line backed out. It was just miserable. One of the orders had like a 48 pack of bottled waters. So I'm grabbing it, putting on the bottom of the cart. I sliced my finger. I kid you not, I'm bleeding out on the bags. I'm like unloading the groceries. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that my blood on the waters and some of the bags? So, and I don't have Band-Aids in my car. I'm wrapping it in a Kroger bag. And I delivered those 3 batches and I thought, I'm done. I did. I was like, you know what, God, do you want me doing this? Maybe I just need to go back to, I'm not like I'm bringing in the dough. It's really minimal. It just gave me something to do. I was getting a little antsy as everything was still kind of very shut down. I was like, I just can't stand being home. So I was just bored. And anywho, why did I tell you I bled out on bags? I gotta do some jokes about that. But anyway, sorry. Whoever got those bottles of water, they're probably like, I'll never do Instacart again. Is this blood? And so sorry. But anyway, so the point of my story, if there is a point, don't give up. Just if you've got dreams, you've got goals, even if you're doing Instacart and bleeding out on some bottled waters as a middle-aged woman, I'm still not giving up. I still have goals. I still have dreams. And maybe I'm going to the long way to the well, but at least I'm going to the well. Maybe I've detoured, but you know what? The main things are the main things. And as long as you've got those things on straight, everything else is like, who cares? Really? Don't get too caught up in, and if learn from your mistakes, which I'm learning, I'm getting better, but I'm still making a lot of mistakes. And I'm still like, I don't like that. Or maybe I'll do it better this way. Or actually, I really enjoy that. How can I make that turn profit? So anyway, just wanted to tell somebody not to give up, but maybe on whatever your goals and dreams are, guard your heart. That's one thing that's on my heart right now. I'm in a season, like I said, we just lost a dear friend, and I'm feeling a little extra sensitive. Imagine that. And I used to hate feeling weak and sensitive. And now it's like, you know what? That's what grace is for. And that's reality. And anybody that doesn't allow themselves to feel those things, it's like, well, good luck, because they're not really fun to be around, and they don't. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Pray for those people, right? Because we all should be experiencing life and know that we have our ups and downs. It's just part of how you don't get out of it. We can't always accept the good things from God. We also have to accept the hard things, because that's what builds character. Oh, the cat's back. The cat's back. Hey, Charlie. Anyway, it's like a 3-ring circus with a dog and 2 cats. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm in a place where we should be empty nesting, ready to take on the world. And it's like, let me get a koi pond going. Like, why do I keep adding animals to the mix? I don't understand. Makes my life more hectic. It's crazy. Here comes Charlie. Charlie, you want to get in on the action? Okay, I took myself out of the stream. Let's see. There's his face. Charlie, can you say hi to the little thingy? Okay, if you're watching, you can see him. If not, I just sounded really chaotic and I took myself out of the stream. This is going to be a really messed up recording. That's another thing. You think, like, you see Charlie a little bit. Oh, and the other one. Now Linus is here. Let me see if I can get Linus. They both I have a green screen behind me, and it's, they're trying to bite it. So that's fun. But, it's like, I want to enjoy my life. And sometimes goals don't always come at the time or work out. you better enjoy the journey, because let me just tell you, sometimes it's like it's taken a while to get there. And then you have to ask, what am I really going for? Do I really want those things? So that's my little, that's all I got today. I'm going to keep it fast, like quick. So it's like not a long, drawn out, wrap it up kind of thing. I do have to share this download. I woke up in the middle of the night and God shared this with me. Imagine going through a drive-through, and let's just say it's McDonald's. You got a Big Mac fries, but all you eat are the condiments, the ketchup, the mayonnaise, whatever. Same with Taco Bell. You go through, but then all you eat is the packets of mild or hot sauce, whatever. But he was talking to me like just about condiments, like not being just filled up on the condiments, like having time to take the meal. And I was just thinking, like, imagine if you just had to live on condiments, like, and we love condiments in this family. Let me just tell you, it's all about the sauce. When you can mix the sauces, and you got a little A1 and you get a little mayo, ketchup, do we just like a good sauce and dip a fry in it? Are you kidding me? But what if you were only surviving on condiments? So anyway, I've just been kind of thinking more about that and spending, the Bible talks about man does not live on bread alone, but every word that comes out from the mouth of God, and spending time filling up, like not having that condiment Christianity where we're just flying by with condiments, but sitting down and digesting a meal, spending time in the word, spending time praying in the spirit, worshiping, filling up your spirit, man. And that's part of, for me, the condiment Christianity is getting off social the last couple of weeks. Just like, it's just taking up too much time that I could be filling up the things that need to be filled up. And so anyway, that is kind of cool. Like, I don't usually get that. That was totally God. I was like, oh, condiment Christianity. So I don't really have much more to add, but I was just thinking more about making sure to take the time and have that full meal, because I'm a steak and potato gal. And I love my condiments with it. Don't get me wrong, a little horseradish, and make that baked potato loaded. But we can't survive just off condiments, so we need to make sure as Christians, if you're not a Christian, sorry, I pray you will become one. But we need to spend time in the presence of the Father and the Word. There's a kitty cat's head right here. You see it? So yeah, well, just a little something I thought I'd just throw out to you. And yeah, so thanks for joining us today on another delightful episode of the Jennifer O'Brien Show. And be sure to check me out. If you go to JenniferOBrienComedy, that is my website. And I have links to all my social media channels, which I'm trying to work on getting another YouTube channel. I'm having to just eat my humble pie and start from ground zero and build another channel. So I have a couple right now, and I just got to get on to building that. And, but yeah, you can see my stuff there. I got to start re-uploading all my stand-up comedy, because a lot of that got taken down. And it is what it is. We're just going to take a nice little journey and see what God does. So find me there. Oh, I'm going to plug something, and this is crazy. You can just stop listening now. But my husband and I do these patches now. I know this is MLM. This seriously is. So just stop listening if you're just so not even wanting to hear this. But we do these patches called X39. And let me tell you, my husband does not snore at night when he wears this patch. It's like stem cells. I can't really explain it, but we're distributors now for them. And they have all sorts of patches. I have a friend who didn't sleep for years. She's doing a sleep patch, and she sleeps now. It's crazy. They have one that helps with mental health. So anyway, I'm going to put a link into this thing, the show notes. If you're interested, reach out. I'll try to answer questions if I can. Or if this might not help you, maybe you know somebody who could use some pain relief or whatever. There's a lot, or maybe somebody already has talked to you about them. Go ask them questions. But if you're interested, please, you could find out more information. I'll put the link in. I'll try to tell you as much as I can. But we've been doing these patches, and I'm pretty excited about just how well I'm feeling. My husband's been doing great, and we're in allergy season here in Atlanta, and just we're fine. So anyway, put that in the show notes, and I could keep thinking of things, or I probably just need to stop talking. So anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Oh, a little burp. Have a great rest of the week. And yeah, this has been fabulous. Thank you.